So lately, one of the biggest questions I've been getting is having to do with Social Security and how secure is it? Well, I'll tell you this. Social Security is going to become insolvent probably in 2033, but most likely in 2034. Some experts believe it can be as early as 2032. So again, it's coming up. That's part of the issue. But here's the bigger problem. Social Security is going to have more concerns. There's going to be the insolvency date's going to pretty much come sooner if we see additional unemployment. Well, according to multiple experts, they believe unemployment's going to go up. We are going to see unemployment in the 5 and 6% range. That's concerning because the more people we have that are unemployed, that means less people are working, meaning less dollars are going into the Social Security Trust Fund. That's part of the problem. But here's where it really boils down. And this is something that just happened. What we now know is that President Trump is pretty much ending trade talks with Canada. That is a huge, huge issue because if the United States and Canada can't get along, if the United States and Mexico can't get along, that means there's going to be jobs impacted. Okay? We're going to see unemployment go up. Now, I don't know what the trade negotiations are going to look like. I don't know how unemployment plays out. But what I can tell you is that experts have been concerned with this very thing for really several months because they don't know what President Trump's going to do. There's so many question marks right now, and that's the huge problem, okay? Now, I wish I could give you more, but that's what we know. Now, here's the other interesting thing. Because of tariffs, because of this conflict still in the Middle East that everyone still expects it's going to continue, right? The negotiations and the ceasefire and all this stuff. Yeah, President Trump says it's a done deal, but this is with Iran. Iran is a country that the United States and many countries around the world have never trusted. And so can we trust Iran to stick by their word? Some say yes, but the majority say no. If Iran can't stick by its word, if they decide to attack and continue to attack Israel or even another country, then the concern is we're going to have a massive shortage of oil. And that shortage of oil is going to lead to higher prices here in the United States and around the world, which means we're going to see prices go up on everything. Food, furniture, clothing, electronics, everything's going to become more expensive. As it becomes more expensive, we are going to pay more, which means inflation's going to go up. As inflation goes up, especially in the third quarter of 2025, then we are going to see the cost of living adjustment for Social Security go up in 2026. Unfortunately, many people expect it's only going to sit at 2.5%. So it's higher than what some are estimating at 2.3%. But again, they're expecting 2.5%. That is still an issue because 2.5% is not going to cover the true cost of inflation. Inflation is higher than 2.5%, meaning people on Social Security that get that cost of living adjustment in 2026, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to cover what you're losing. Now, with that said, here's the next issue. Congress needs to act and needs some type of Social Security reform in order to fix the issues that we're facing. Unfortunately, and again, this is a huge issue, is that right now, it doesn't look like Congress is going to do anything. And the reason why I say this is simple. Congress is trying to figure out everything else. They're trying to deal with the tariff negotiations. They're trying to deal with President Trump's one big beautiful bill. They have issues currently with the Senate parliamentarian because of what they call the Byrd rule, and certain things cannot pass in the Senate, or they could, but not if you're going to try to do a reconciliation. And so again, a lot of issues here, a lot of issues. And so right now, Congress is trying to do one thing at a time. The one thing that they're trying to do, pass the one big beautiful bill. That's their goal. That's been their goal for quite some time, to address that, to raise the debt ceiling, to ensure that the United States can continue to move forward. That's what they're doing. Now, how is this going to play out for Social Security? Unfortunately, Social Security is going to be pushed back again. Okay, they're just going to keep pushing it back. Kick the can down the road until finally it hits that brick wall and you have to make a choice. Right now, that's where Congress is at. Based off what experts are saying, is that Congress, and no Congress really, not just the current one, but any Congress, didn't want to touch Social Security for decades because they're concerned about the political side of it. They're concerned that their constituents wouldn't vote for them again. They're concerned that they would have to pretty much backtrack on a promise that they made. And that's where the issue started. And so again, for years, we've seen lawmakers talk about Social Security, what they plan to do and how they plan to fix it. Unfortunately, they've never done anything simply because they're more concerned about their seat in Congress as opposed to the millions and millions of Americans that rely on this one benefit. Keep in mind that between 80 and 90% of Social Security recipients, they rely on their monthly benefit in order to help pay for their essential needs. Food, right? Utilities, gas, insurance, pay for rent and a mortgage. If they didn't have Social Security, they would not be able to pay for many of these things. So the one concern that I have is here in the next probably 8 to 9 years, Social Security will become insolvent, which means millions of Americans are going to receive a cut of about 22 to 23% instantly. That 22 to 23% cut is going to devastate millions of people, and they will not be able to survive. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what Congress decides to do. But at this time, everyone's eyes are looking at the tariffs and at the Middle East as to whether or not this conflict is actually done, or are they just waiting? So as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get them. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.